All right, everyone, welcome. Week 2 at Barcelona. Here for some more racing action with CSRL. I've got Jay with me again,
Just glad to be involved.
and we got some dry weather. So this should be a nice, dry, exciting race for us. A nice opposite of our week 1 rain race. Let's go over some of the cars. So Torres qualified first again. Macedo, who's rocking his new Ken Block livery, nice job in honor of Ken Block, who recently had that accident, who we lost. But nice way to tribute and honor to him. Moda in third, Cerna in fourth. Great qualifying position from Cerna. Um, we have Garvey in fifth, John Snow in sixth, Darty in seventh, and we have, it looks like, a new livery for is this this was the ones that, correct me if I'm wrong,
Yeah,
Jay, for
the, these are the ones that Jesse Albert worked on for he and Tillman.
very nice. So the first one we have Tillman's, and then there's the matching one, Albert. So that's why they have such a similar look. They've got a kind of teammate action going on. I like it. We got Pedro's Purge car, and we'll look through some more of the group here. I like Scott Taylor's revised 2.0 Monster Fox Racing car. Very nice. Look at that detail in there. I love that Audi one too. Like I said, I don't know if that's a custom or if that's the one of the factory ones, but I love that one. And the Rat Fink, very nice. All right, so we're off for the warm-up lap here.
Barcelona. It's
Yeah. What do you think of it?
I don't know. It's a fun track to race. I'm not particularly good at it. Um, I've raced it for years. I mean, it's like in every F1 game that's ever been released, and I don't know. I can't get the hang of it. But it's notoriously hard on your left side tires.
Yeah.
Your left front, by the end of your stint, is screaming in pain. Um, it's, I don't know. It's a weird track. It's fast and it's slow. It's got a lot of deceptively difficult corners. So I don't know. I mean, skies look clear, so
Does.
hopefully there's not going to be that added complication. But
It's
it'll be
also got
interesting to see
that
what happens.
final chicane that easy to get the track limits on. So we'll have to see if anyone suffers a drive-through from the track limits here.
Yeah, and that's always rough. I mean, penalties really suck, but that's just kind of what
Especially
happens,
if you're the guy that gets one.
Yeah, I mean it's not so bad if the guy in front of you gets one. I mean,
Yeah, it's a great
you're a
way to
big fan
it's
of
a
them
great
then,
way to
but
get by someone.
yeah. So yeah, it's good to see David Macedo back this week.
Yeah,
Yeah, he was absent last week, so
he was, and we've had some other drivers that are absent this week. I can't remember the total list of everyone that missed this week, but I know Francisco was not able to make the race tonight, and neither was Derringer. Those are two of the ones I know weren't able to make it.
well, it's a good thing we got that.
And I think TL's back this race. This is another person who I don't think was here week 1 that made it back for week 2, just like David.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, it's a
All
good
right.
thing we've got that extra race that we're letting people swap out. So
Absolutely. It's gonna be interesting because you're not really gonna be able to calculate where everyone is until that final race. Based on what the standings are, it'll be hard to calculate it as we're going. That might add to more of the fun too. You really don't know where things stand till the very end. Here we go, too wide. We got green flag, and everyone is off. Try to get a good view. We've got some 3 wides, nearly 4 wide. Turn 1. And, Darty and Pedro tap. Pedro, gets
yikes.
airborne. And,
oh
no. And, takes out Stefan Buckley.
Oh, no.
Yeah, let's go back and, there's quite a few cars that were involved in this one. Let's see if we ride on with Stefan Buckley. I've been really excited to see what he would do in the Skyline this year. He got the GTR, and he gets past the first wave of it, and then just gets absolutely blindsided by the car that's coming across from losing control. Yeah, that really is. So, just contact there. They try to brake. It's just, this is why we preach that turn 1, trying to give space, trying to not be too overly aggressive. And I'm not saying anyone's at fault here. We'll let the stewards look at it. But it's just, this is the ramifications of a turn 1 incident. You get so many cars so close that it becomes a domino effect.
Yeah, and it's funny. The T1 incident usually... it either happens in T1 or T3. It's usually a compounding incident that I don't know. It's weird how it works like that, but it'll either happen directly at T1 or the next turn. So
yeah, and you always feel bad for guys that get caught up in something like that in the beginning, just because there is little
yikes.
Little bump there.
Yeah, that looked like a move on a door that was always going to be closing there.
Yeah, looks like had the run, decides to go for it. And kind of squeezed in, but that was a tight one. That was maybe forcing it just a bit more than you really want to.
Just a little bit. I mean, getting the 1 pass on the late brake's good, but going for 2, that's just might be characterized as a little greedy. Well, not the cleanest of lap 1s, but I've seen worse, so...
Oh, yeah.
Congrats to everyone who managed to survive.
Garvey is all over the back of Tillman. He's going to move up the inside. That was well executed. So I think Tillman gained that position on Garvey back before, so it looks like
he did.
Garvey was able to take that one back. Yeah, we've got some. Oh, and he tries to go for it again, but
yeah, it's not very often you're going to outbrake a Porsche.
Yeah. That's a tough one. Let's see back. Let's see if it was a case of just missing that.
Seems like
braking zone.
Yeah, it just seems like he was on the inside a little too tight and misjudged the braking zone.
Yep. As soon as he pulled inside, he realized, oh no, I needed to already be on the brakes. And the big thing here is you got to be careful coming back onto the track, because that really is the race line kind of goes through there, and the last thing you want is to take anyone else out. This is a fun section of the track coming up over the crest here, the lift off, and try to keep as much momentum down this straight as possible. This should be one of the chances to pass here at this track.
Yeah, it's the favorite one of mine is season 1, uh, pulling the old rope-a-dope on Kyle Macedo, feigning to the inside at that really heavy braking zone just before the
Ooh, Pedro getting loose.
I don't know if that's teeth. I'm not sure what corner that is. It's a really hard braking zone on the back end of the track.
I
Really
do
tight
not know
left-hander.
which one either, but I know what you're talking about. But I don't know the name or the turn number.
Yeah,
I
if
did
you
not
do
do
it
my
right,
homework.
you can really scare guys going into there, and it gets them all off their game. From what I hear, he still has nightmares about that pass.
There's John all over the back of Garvey.
It's good to see another Ferrari as well.
Yeah.
It's literally been Scott Taylor holding on the Ferrari for a long time by himself.
Oh,
So
and Ken touches off the track just maybe one tire at most. That's going to give Pedro the run down the straight, and he got him into the turn there, so that gets Pedro in front of North.
yeah, it's almost always a death sentence. Getting even a little off track there, it slows you down so much.
We have Blythe on Harris Beckman right now. Looks like Beckman ran a tad bit wide. That was going to let Blythe through.
That's a nice livery that Blythe's running too. I like that.
I do. I like both of theirs. I like Harris Beckman's also. All right, so at the front, Torres, who is stretched out a little bit, just under 2 seconds. David Macedo in second place and Moda in third, but closely following David Macedo.
Yeah, it's good to see Max Cerna up there too.
Yeah, that was a brilliant qualifying by Cerna and brilliant start so far.
Yeah, he's shown quite a bit of pace at a few tracks now.
He has. I'm still hoping for the race where he gets to, have the whole package where he keeps it for the whole hour, because he does. He shows such great pace, such great speed, and then it's usually just unfortunate event, either something he gets caught up in or self-inflicted. So
Yeah,
I really want him to reap the benefits of all his hard work.
yeah, consistency it's very elusive.
Let's see how Miller's doing this race. He might have got caught up in the lap 1 shenanigans. He shows he's currently running 22nd on the tail of Harris Beckman. Miller's another person that I just feel for, where he seems to not be able to catch a break.
Yeah, last season was rough for Evan. We're showing quite a change of luck last race.
You know what? Miller just got by Harris. Did you even see what happened?
I think Beckman was off track.
Let's go to Helicam. It must have been, because I didn't see him. Oh, yeah, catches a little too much of that inside curb, and that takes him off. But good recovery. He managed to save it before things got worse.
Well, he kept it pointing in the right direction, and that's a win in my book.
Yeah.
But no, Evan showed a pretty big change in his luck last race. Nothing, not that I remember. Nothing too heinous happened. Yeah.
Oh no, he got abused last week.
Oh, he did. Oh,
I
okay. Never
think
mind.
I think I
Forget about
think
it.
he had I think at least one or two. I can't remember the exact, but no, he got caught up in some last week as well. So
But yeah, I was just joking. I know that. I knew
you did,
that.
or watch me be wrong. Someone go back and fact check us.
Yeah.
And the team members, I see Albert and Tillman have found a way to get near each other. So right now, Albert in front of Tillman. So at some point, Albert managed to get by him because Albert had started behind him.
Yeah, this is
Ooh,
always a ooh, Pedro got a little loose there. I think he was worried he was going to hit Tillman there.
yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah, it's always a rough part of the track to be right on somebody like that.
Whew.
Yikes.
And is that going to let... You can see Scott wants to get by right there. We'll have to see. I don't think Scott's going to be able to have position on Quarrelson to... Yeah, he's going to settle in behind him.
That's a big part of racing as well, is knowing when to knowing where to set your passes up and not just going for every hard braking zone and
Yeah, when to fold them and when to bet and when to push all in.
yeah. I mean, Scott's never been an overly aggressive guy, so but you can definitely see that he's definitely gotten, I don't want to say older, but definitely wiser.
Yeah, Moda's just all over the back of David. He is. This is one of those races where you're just not going to be able to catch a breath. It looks like David.
Yeah.
If David manages to stay in front, I don't think he's going to be shaking Moda. So.
Yeah, yeah. Alex kind of looks like he's got somewhere to be and not a whole lot of time to get there. So
Yeah, he goes. If I want a chance at Torres, I'm going to need to get by David.
yeah, that Porsche is a rocket ship, though. I mean, it's almost custom made for the tracks we picked this season. So
Yeah, Porsche's definitely the favorite car for the track list this season. I agree with that. And we've got two excellent Porsche drivers that just that it'll raise the odds even in more of a favor of the Porsche taking it. Let's check on John. It looks like I don't see Garvey. It looks like there was an incident with Garvey and John, but I think that was earlier. But John is now on the back of Cerna, Darty behind him. John's new livery looks great. Absolutely love that. Ooh, you can
it's going to
see.
be a. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was gonna say you can see John trying to figure out and kind of test him, see where he can get around. Looks like he's gonna have the outside line through here. It's not gonna be able to pull off here. Uh-oh, but that makes him vulnerable to Darty. Darty gets alongside. Whew! Almost. That was close between the two of them.
Yeah, that Bentley's a chonky boy. That and John has a tendency to make that thing pretty wide too. So
Yeah, I feel like the Aston and the Bentley are both pretty big cars, so when they're both occupying space next to each other, it doesn't leave much of room.
It'll be interesting to see how many people recognize the livery on John's Bentley.
Oh,
Know what it is.
well, okay, that's true. I don't know how many people will. You'd have to be a real enthusiast, probably. We'll have
Well,
to. You have a you
we'll
have a
leave that.
source photo. Do you have a source photo? I could throw up here on the broadcast as he's.
I do. Yeah.
Okay, here we'll throw that up right now, and here we can see what it's based off of. Tell me what is that? Tell us about that plane.
So it's a Spitfire. I don't think it's necessarily a certain make or mark of Spitfire. They all had different paint schemes, but John's quite an
Ooh,
enthusiast
there's he spitfires his way past Cerna, who touches off track.
exactly. He's quite an enthusiast of flight sims, so
Ooh,
he
Darty,
asked me if I could make one for him. So
you did an excellent job. You can absolutely see the resemblance between the picture of the Spitfire and his car. You did an awesome job, and I like that it kind of it still has. It's almost like a 2.0 of his previous livery too. It still has the kind of resemblance to the original too. So I like it.
yeah, that's kind of funny because I literally just used the his old livery and painted over the top of it.
We got Darty and Cerna side by side. Don't think Darty's gonna be up enough on him. Oh, he's gotten close, but yeah, he's backing out.
Yeah, it's probably the best idea going through here. I mean, it's possible to go too wide through
Yeah,
that whole area, but I mean, it's just, is it worth it?
yeah, chickened out a little bit maybe. It's like I don't want to risk it. We're up in the top 10 right now, but if he wants a chance to stay with John, if he stays battling Cerna, it's going to only let John escape. Oh, and
Like
he
Doherty's
goes
track.
off track. Let's see what happened. I wonder if it was similar to what happened with Tillman, where, let's see. So, yeah, just completely misses the break. Way too late, and that's going to take him off, so he's going to wait for, he got a lot of traffic coming.
Yeah, good move on the weight, though. I mean, it's not worth. Oh, and then it looks like we've got.
Oh, did I miss something?
Cerna went off almost right after that.
Did Cerna?
Yeah, it looked like it.
Was it after? Cause
That was while Doherty was off track. Right as he came back off track or on track, someone was taking an expedition through the through the desert in that little chicane there.
Let's see, Moda still. Oh, Moda made it past David. Let's see where this happens.
Oh no, it's the Macedo curse. That same hard braking zone.
We'll go heli cam. I feel like you can get a better shot of the passes. Yeah. Oh, look at that Porsche. It just, yeah. He left the smallest door there. I don't think too many other cars would have been able to hold that inside and accelerate out as fast as it did. That Porsche is just nasty.
It looked like David was a little nervous that he was going to get into Alex there.
Mm-hmm.
I think he hesitated a split second, and
Same
Alex
thing.
took advantage of that one.
Yeah, I can't blame him. You don't want to ruin another guy's race.
Exactly.
And if you know you made the mistake or you ran, you broke too late or whatever, you went off the race line. It's, yeah. Don't try to force it. I respect that. And Kumar is... This is Kumar's first time racing with us, too. I got to talk to him a little bit practicing during the week. But he's one of the new additions to the league. Good for him that he started second race into the season, so he hasn't missed too much.
Yeah, and he's the lone beamer on track too. I mean, we haven't seen one of those for
since the season they were introduced.
Yeah, right. When everyone was driving them.
Yes,
driving getting a little. I don't know if that was a little loose or if he locked up in that corner or what, but looked like he was having an oh shit moment there.
And looking at Kumar's car, there's definitely some scuffs along that. I think he was one of the cars that got caught up in that lap 1 incident. That
absolutely, he was actually the car spinning across the track that made contact with Buckley.
So he's considering the damage. Running 16th, going after the guy in 15th. That's good.
Yeah, that's impressive.
Be curious to see if he takes time to fix it during when he goes into pit, or if he thinks the car's giving him enough to be competitive to where he'll avoid the extra time in the pits. So we'll see how that plays out. Oh, when he gets past Driveman right there.
Yeah, Driveman had a little bit of an issue coming out of that corner there.
It's a tough section of track.
Well, and the Lexus has a tendency to over-rotate on the brakes. I don't know what it is about that car, but it doesn't matter how far forward you've got that bias. If you're on the brakes just a little bit too much, it'll just come right out from underneath you. So I wonder if maybe that's what happened.
Yeah, and that's going to put Driveman back into the clutches of Massey, who is... We'll see if he can catch him in this braking zone. He's got the good position on the inside, and yeah, that's going to let Massey get through, unless Driveman's about to pull the cutback. Yeah. Again, now Massey's managed to be in the optimal position for this turn. We'll see if he can hold on to it. Driveman's not letting him walk away easy. Driveman's making him work for it. He's having to take that really far inside, but manages to hold on. We got Blythe now in the mix as well from all that.
Yeah, and that was a good move from Driveman there, just to sort of...
Very good.
Yeah, just sort of back out before the sweeper there and just have another run at it a bit later.
Yeah, live to fight another day.
Exactly.
Got Macedo to second back from Moda. Doherty, Pedro, and North all really close to each other right here. And Pedro getting inside of North. Yeah, Pedro's going to take it. Nice move by Pedro.
Yeah, it looks like you might keep it too. Doherty getting real close to the dirt there.
Yeah.
Yeah, this part's my nemesis.
Ken gets, Pedro gets a little bit, looked like loose there. Let Ken get back up on him. This is always a dangerous part, especially if you're real close to other cars. Definitely don't want to be too wide through any of that.
No, the chicane's difficult enough. Single file, I can only imagine.
Yeah, I mean, too wide through there, you got to be going like parking lot speed. You're not.
Yeah, just looking for a way around Ken here.
And Ken touches the grass if Darty doesn't overshoot again. And manages to get on the brakes. Doesn't miss the mark that time. So
man, commentator's curse is a real thing, man.
I'm gonna stop talking and pick.
Anytime I mention anything, it's just like, okay. I've always gotten a kick out of the team name that Nick chose for his.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, he ran that last season too, and I thought that was the funniest thing ever.
Blythe goes off now. Looks like it's gonna let Driveman by. Yeah, Driveman manages to clear Blythe before he can get back on the track.
Seems to be a pretty good tourist destination out in the middle of that sand trap there.
I'm telling you, we've had quite a few people giving it a tour.
Yeah, there's quite a few people just going on safari.
Checking on Life. He was... Oh, there is Miller and Moore real close through here. Ooh, this is gonna be a tough. Okay, yeah, I was gonna say Miller. It's hard to really battle into that sharp right. So Miller backed out. It's a tough turn to take from far and from really close inside.
Yeah.
Now Miller pulls out from behind the Audi, but it is not going to have the grunt to get by. The Porsche isn't going to have the grunt to get by the Audi on a straight, especially when it's not tucked in behind it.
Yeah, I'm pretty impressed with a lot of the newer guys, but this, from what I understand, this is the first time that Life got to practice was literally right before this race. So.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Well.
Yeah, we were discussing that. And yeah, he was worried that he would be doing poorly, but hey, man.
Oh, Miller out, and that's going to let Life on through. It's like Miller went a little bit wide.
Yeah, 17's not last. That's all I got to say. So, not doing too bad.
Not at all. Well, that's actually good. Yeah. Not bad at all. Especially, a lot of the guys that he's racing around have been sim racing a while too. So he's fitting on in.
It does look like we might have a couple early pitters as well.
Yeah, it looks like I believe Kumar pitted already. I do always hate this part because we don't have a way to indicate who has pitted or the status, but at this point I don't. It looks like Torres has not, neither has Moto or Macedo at this point. John Snow, don't think Jesse hasn't yet. And from I see Darty's made it back onto Pedro.
Pedro's looked a little bit off his game this race.
Who's that? Oh,
Pedro.
Pedro. I'll tell you what though, him switching to the Aston, it seems like a great car for him because he's found speed so fast at switching to that car compared to when he was trying to switch to the Lambo last season. I think but he's not looking like how he did in race 1 for sure, where he was running in second place.
Yeah, it looks a little tentative, maybe a little off balance.
He might have taken some damage too from the lap 1 stuff. So I don't know how perfect, because I know he was one of the other cars that was involved in it. So maybe not enough to slow him down completely, but maybe just a little bit.
Oh, that was almost real bad.
Oh yeah, wide that lets Darty get back and close the gap on him.
Yeah, Tokyo drifting around that corner.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks fun, but it's not the fastest way around that.
No.
Yeah, Pedro just pulls a little bit on Doherty there.
Yeah, you can see Pedro definitely has the better line through that turn. We're showing, are Life and Miller like right next to each other? No. Okay. It was I think something happened to Miller because I think they were close. Well, maybe not. I don't know why it was showing. Just ACC's timings not accurately reflected.
Yeah, it's weird. The replay timings are interesting.
Yeah, Life's in front, but it's showing him behind.
Up into 14th, though. I wonder if that's people pitting or if some people had some issues. I think I did see Driveman pit at least, so I'm sure others have as well at this point.
All right, we'll go back to the Doherty one then. I thought there was another close battle out on track, but it looks like
oh
yeah,
in the marble. Yeah, and those are the kind of mistakes you kick yourself for.
For sure.
You know, it takes you another half a lap to get back up to the guy, and by the end of it, if you lose the position by half a lap at the end of the race, you're just like, you know exactly where that came from.
Yeah, and there's only so many places that you figure you can pass at, but if you're not close to the guy when you get to one of those zones, if you let yourself drop back too far, you're not going to be able to pounce when that moment comes. So it's critical being able to stay driving close to someone and safe. Now, I know Doherty didn't get much practice this week, and including he did not practice the pit. So I had heard the reason he followed Pedro was he needed someone to show him how to pit. So he drove in there last minute to make sure he didn't have to figure it out on his own.
It was more rallycross than GT3.
Oh, telling you. How crazy would it have been if he just would have crashed into the wall?
Yeah, straight into
Would
the
be kicking
divider.
himself in.
Well, I mean, he would have got his pit stop.
He would have needed it even more than ever. Alright, so this is going to start shaking up the order a bit. Got more cars pitting.
I mean, props to David for staying so close to Alex.
Oh, yeah.
It's
Yeah,
not an easy guy to keep pace with.
David was impressive last season, and has been impressive, looking like he's going to be impressive this season again. And he switched to running the Aston.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. It's weird to see. It's weird to see a Ken Block livery and a car not being completely sideways.
Oh, David will help with that.
Okay.
He knows how to take. He was the one that used to have the McLaren sideways all the time.
Yeah,
You
that's right.
remember last
Yeah.
season?
Yeah, that was
Now
impressive.
I don't know if he's gonna be doing that too much this race, but I guess the Aston's a little harder to get sideways too, right?
I mean, we've seen people doing it, so I
Yeah.
mean, it might not be the rock solid stable car that we remember.
Check in.
Oh, Cerna's down in 13th. So I wonder if he may have had an incident there.
I think there had to have been one to put him that far back. I think we might have missed it.
Well, I'm sure he'll be glad.
Yeah. No one likes seeing their own incidents.
Yeah. That was weird. It was just showing Kumar 2 laps down, but now he's only 7 seconds. So either he was going real fast, or ACC's just being ACC.
Yeah, we're getting some. He definitely shouldn't have been 2 laps down unless something had happened to him. But when we were watching him before, he definitely wasn't lap traffic. So I don't know what was going on there.
Now it's showing him 17 seconds behind, so that must have been a pit stop.
Yeah. Yeah, you can see Blythe just reeling Harris Beckman in ever so slightly here. At this point, it looks like he's just going to be waiting for an opportunity he might be able to pounce on. See, this is a great spot up here. If you can carry more speed than the guy in front of you, and you can get down. It looks like he's going to kind of let off a little too much. So Harris Beckman had the speed here.
Yeah, that Aston sure doesn't sound like the dog it used to be in the low-speed stuff. So
Yeah, I think it's slightly improved for sure. It's still lacking compared to a lot of the other cars, but it's not as bad. I think it's maybe a D instead of an E now.
Harris Beckman getting a little sideways through there as
Yeah.
well.
Have to see if he's going to be able to. That Audi definitely has some speed down the straights too, so I don't think he'll be able to get out. He tries it. Oh! So
Oh, that was
close.
close.
So close.
So very close.
Yeah, we'll see how close this was.
Looks like just a little past the braking zone there.
Yeah, I think he managed to pull outside also, as opposed to, yeah, as opposed to pulling inside, which would have definitely caused the collision. He keeps it to the left, and I think that was the saving grace there.
Yeah, that was a good move. Props to Blythe there.
Yep.
Does anybody still say that, props, or am I just showing my age?
I mean, I still say it, but I'm also probably showing my age, so.
Okay. Just checking. Oh, and looks like Albert just got a stop. Oh.
Yeah.
So that's speeding in the pits, I do believe. That's rough. That is real rough.
Yeah, it is. I'm trying to remember. Did Albert have something last week too? Was there a pit issue? I can't remember. I think something happened to him.
You know, I don't remember.
Yeah, I'm not trusting my memory. No. I don't think anything did. I'd take it back. No, because he was out in front of Pedro, and there was that whole. He was right there at the end. So no, I don't think anything happened to him last week.
Well, I mean, he did get passed by Pedro on the last lap, but still a pretty good finish.
Okay, so we got Doherty managed to climb back up into 6th. He's behind Albert, who's going to be having to pit. He's actually sandwiched right between the teammates, so you got Tillman coming up on him.
Yeah, I bet you Tillman right now is just thinking, just hold him up a little. Just hold him up a little.
Yeah, he's going, don't serve that stop and go this lap. Go ahead and keep out one more lap. Let me get a little bit closer. And Tillman is pulling in hard. He's gained, showing he's 2 seconds down, but it looked like he was a lot closer than that. At least. So Jesse did just pull in to serve his.
Well, let's just hope it's not a compounding issue where he's got to stop, go, and then gets another one.
Yeah, let that frustration get the better of you.
Yeah, Tillman did. It looks like he gained by about 6 to 8 tenths on that last. Yeah, speaking of the whole penalty thing, you know, when the guy in front of you gets one, you're a pretty big fan of him, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Pretty sure Doherty's you're pretty happy about that one.
Oh, absolutely. It saves you from having to try to get by someone. I'll tell you what, too, Doherty was relieved because Albert's not an easy driver to get by either, so. Keep up with or get by. And okay, Kumar right on the back of Taylor. And in Blythe on the back of Moore. Looks like he passed Driveman. It's still showing Driveman in front of him, but that's definitely not Driveman. That is no Lexus in front of Blythe right now.
I mean, unless Driveman has mastered the art of of the high-speed driver swap. No, that's definitely an Audi.
Yeah, I feel like I'm definitely getting to some of these too late.
It looked like both Beckman and Driveman had a little bit of a difficulty coming out of that corner there.
Yeah, so we got a couple close battles out on the track. We have that group. Tillman still, yeah, Tillman still just under 2 seconds behind Doherty. Stick with Blythe as he tries to get by more, with Driveman closely following.
Oh, and Driveman just clipped that curb a little too hard, and
Yeah, at the worst place too.
yeah,
You need every little ounce or every little whatever of speed to get down this straight, maximize your time. Oh, Blythe, little bit late on the brakes. It's gonna let Driveman close in on him. And it's a tough section too, because if you miss the right and you're a little bit deep on that, it sets you up deep for the next one. And it's a right, left, right, and if you're not optimum for that final third turn, it slows you down up the hill.
yeah. How rough you are on your tires. Your front left is quite overheated. So
Oh, Tillman has made up a lot of time. Looks like yeah, best lap was last lap, 1:44.980. So Doherty is obviously a carrot dangling in front of him that he is running full speed towards. Just set his best lap. And that's frustrating when you're the guy in front too, because you think you're just trying to maintain close to what your best lap is, or maybe you set your best lap and the guy behind you just keeps getting closer. And that's when you start to worry, you start to doubt yourself. You're like, am I really the faster car? Is he gonna be catching me?
yeah, there's definitely a lot of math that goes into trying to run a defensive race. I mean, it's going to slow you down quite a bit. So if you're fine finishing the position that you're in, then just backing the guy up behind you into somebody else is a really good strategy.
Well, I had seen Tillman in some public lobbies during the week, and he was winning races, so he's got some good pace here. And that's obviously why he was being able to pull in Doherty so easily. Check back on Blythe. Oh yeah, Blythe
Whoa,
just
hey, look at
made
that.
it around more. We'll heli cam here and see how this went. Did more just a little bit. Yeah, late on the brakes. It's what's getting everybody. He manages to keep it out of the gravel though, at least. Can't say that about everyone else who went deep there. We'll check on Kumar and Taylor. So Taylor managed to eke out a little bit of space, but Kumar's still right there, just over a second behind him.
I think his bumper still looks pretty scuffed there, so I think he's still dealing with that damage.
Yeah, it looks like he foregoed getting it fixed during the pit. Figured he'd.
Ooh, that was close.
It's right on board here. Yeah, does the right thing again. Props when you know you're not gonna have it. Pull to the outside, not the inside. It's not the instinctual thing to do either.
Yeah.
Your instincts always have you going to the inside, but
Trying to make the corner
trying to
even though you
make
know you're
the
not gonna.
corner. Exactly. But it goes to show just some quick thinking, letting yourself pull the outside. You save an incident, you save taking a guy out, you're still in a race. Tillman just a half second behind Doherty now.
Yeah, the anxiety is definitely setting in at this point.
Oh, for sure. Start to worry at any moment that guy's going to pull out and jump alongside. Oh, nice.
Oh.
Nice save. Almost got to go back just to rewatch the that was nice on his
Yeah,
part. I have to see that. That was a
the
good
Honda's not
save.
the easiest car to catch a slide like that in.
No,
It's a lot like the Porsche in that aspect.
Absolutely. I don't think we've seen too many people successfully save the Honda. Look at that. Good job. It was definitely sliding.
Yeah, like I said earlier, it's going to be another one of those things where you, especially if you lose that position at the end of the race by half a car length, you know exactly where that came from.
Well, you know what can happen too, and we can't see tire temps and stuff like that, but I've experienced it before too, where you get into a little bit of a slide, and your PSI or your tires start to heat up, and it takes time to get them back, cool back down, and then that can just start to have compounding problems. Oh, David Macedo, we were talking about him earlier, not losing sight of Moda, and showing him right now just a half second back of Moda. And behind him is, I believe that is the Audi of Moore.
Yeah, I think he's lap traffic. John, I think, yeah, John's about 4 seconds back. It's not a position you usually see John in.
Fourth?
John's usually he's usually about a mile and a half ahead.
Yeah, I know John had taken time off from racing the season last year, last season. I also know that John was one of the guys that used to put in a good amount of practice, so I don't know if it's just, maybe taking a little bit easier this season, not dedicating so much time, just having fun with it, or if he's just still getting back into the swing of things. But
I think it's definitely both of those things.
But no doubt, I'm impressed the guy can come back after racing and run still, and as competitive as he is, he's not slow by any means. Fourth in this group's awesome.
Yeah, this has been a pretty interesting battle as well. Taylor and Kumar.
Yeah, they have been. I don't think it's been more than a second and a half, whatever they've been apart from each other since we first started showing them.
It's definitely, it speaks volumes about the kind of driver Kumar is. If he's got that much damage, and it does look pretty substantial, and he can still get in there and mix it up, then once again, I'm just gonna stop talking, because every time I say something bad happens to somebody.
So Kumar qualified with a 145.0, so he was almost in the 144s. Be curious to see if we can see what his best lap has been. It might give us an idea of how much damage he's working with. Because, yeah, he managed to qualify 9th. He was right in front of Pedro and right behind Kyle Tillman, and Kyle's all the way up in 6th. So we should get to see a best lap up here soon. So he's crossing the line. Right? Won't it show us?
Yeah, it should. It should pop up by.
There we go. So
corner,
best
yeah.
145.5, last 147. So his best not too far off. So definitely working maybe some damage, but maybe not as bad as the car looks either.
Yeah, and I mean, damage is compounding. So you've got drag, you got a loss of downforce, which means you're chewing your tires more. I mean, frankly, at this point, you could be also dealing with some pretty overheated fronts just due to the damage to the front of that car. This track is notoriously hard on your front left anyway.
Showing
So
Jesse
I can only imagine.
a half-second behind Cerna, but I don't see Cerna, so I don't think that's the case. I think he got by him already, just hadn't updated. Yeah, there it goes. We just missed it again. Here, let's go back. Let's see.
Yeah, for Cerna to be that far back, there had to have been an off track, I think.
I think you're right. I think there was. Yeah.
Oh,
Oh!
Oh,
Jeez,
no,
and it's
no.
gonna get the wall. Yeah.
Oh, that snap.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, that's
that's more in line what you expect from the Honda. That's what
exactly.
we were so. That's why we were so impressed that Tillman was able to save it.
It's just the Honda doing Honda things. So.
Yeah. Speaking of Tillman, it looks like his last 145. So he might be starting to suffer some tire issues or something. You see him starting to drop back from Darty, where before he was right on him.
Yeah, but I might also just be coming to terms with 6th place.
Yeah. But I'll tell you who has not dropped back off, and that is Kumar on Taylor here.
Yeah, he definitely wants that 9th place.
You think Taylor's getting sick of seeing him in his rearview mirror by now?
I don't know. I mean, there's a pretty big gap around these guys. I think Taylor's just happy to have the company.
Yeah. I don't know. If I was Taylor, I think at this point I probably looked at my rearview mirror more than I looked out my front windshield. Oh, jeez. Oh, so close. You can see he's just chomping at the bit at a chance to get by him. We're gonna have position into this turn. If he can hold it, it's gonna be tough. Oh, just a little nudge.
Just a tap. Just a little tap.
But Taylor's gonna hold the inside. He waits.
And
doesn't
Kumar's
turn
gonna go for the switchback. Just does not have the room.
No. Taylor held it nice and tight inside there.
Yeah, that's the inside's always going to be the best place to have through that section, just for the sheer amount of left-handers going down that back section.
All right, I don't want to just check. I see Blythe and Life. Yeah, again, Blythe looks like he just got passed on done because it's still showing Life in front. Yeah, so here's what happens. You're down the straight. He makes the move inside. Lets it stick. And
some pretty good awareness.
In front of Life.
Some pretty good awareness on Life's part. Seeing Blythe on the inside there and just sort of, instead of doing something crazy, just letting him through.
Yep, we talk about it all the time. Live to fight another turn. Oh, Miller on drive, man. And nice move on the
Ooh.
inside, but I think the sudden change in
Yeah.
direction took him off the track. He kind of got it served up on a silver platter, but
Yeah, and he got her. Oh, no, he's still not
got
got
the
it done.
inside, but this is going to be tough. He's got to be able to hold it without going into driveman, and he's got it. Now, if he can clear, he'll be a lot better if he can clear out in front, which he does. So now he can just cut right, carry all that speed.
Oh, and
And
here comes Doherty.
this is the worst because Driveman and Miller are in a nice battle. You don't want the faster traffic stopping the battle, but Tillman's right behind him as well.
Yeah, and that's
So
a horrible place to get
you
caught.
have two guys battling, so it's like there's a priority for each of them to make this happen as fast as possible. You want to see Tillman does the right thing too, being patient. There's no way for Miller to safely let him by through all those turns, but hopefully at this point we'll see Tillman be able to get around. Yeah, Miller moves off the race line, lets him through, and this should put Driveman, back to being pretty close with Miller, so it's almost put it back where things left off. That worked out. That's how we'd like to see it. So,
I mean, I'm sure Tillman would have liked to have gotten past Miller a little bit earlier,
oh,
but I mean,
for sure.
for sure.
He would have much rather have Doherty been caught up there for longer. It was the worst part too, because the part where Tillman got behind Miller was that section of track where it's just all tight, tight turns, no straight, nowhere to, and it's the right thing, because if Miller had tried to let somebody by there, and you try to, we always preach, if it's the straights, move over, let the faster car by. If it's the turns, don't go off the racing line, don't make unpredictable moves, because, if he would have gone to do that, you end up making contact. He, hits a curve, something takes it back on into to Tillman. So
yeah.
Moda is 1.5 seconds behind Torres right now. Why don't we... So we're at 56, about 4 minutes left in the race.
Yeah, it's you can definitely tell Moda's on the hunt here.
Yeah, I don't think you would have expected to close the gap this much. This kind of gives them extra incentive to keep pushing now, not just necessarily settle for second.
Yeah, and it looks like Torres is coming up on some lap traffic, so this could be a very good opportunity for Moda to make up some.
This absolutely could, especially depending on how fast Torres closes the gap. He might end up being at that slow part of the track by the time he gets behind, so it's going to be interesting. Yeah, I'm sure Torres is worried right now too, seeing that lap traffic. because you just never know how it's going to go getting by somebody, if they're going to notice you fast enough or it's going to be at the right part of the track. It's a lot of unknowns. You like when things can be in your control. It's a lot tougher when you have to rely on others and you don't have pure control over the situation.
Oh, you're speaking my language there,
Yeah.
bud.
And this actually worked out perfect. He caught him on that straight, so props. I believe that was Moore. Let them both by cleanly, and it really didn't affect the spacing between them at all.
You know, I imagine it's what it's like to be a proud parent, just watching these guys, seeing them follow the rules and, be respectful, and that sort of makes organizing all this stuff, I don't want to say worth it, because it is worth it, but it just...
Well, the last thing... The last
go
thing,
ahead.
No, it's just the last thing you'd want is to be recovering this, and then the lap or the battle for race 1 ends up being decided by a lapped car accidentally taking out the leader, right?
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
we don't want to end on that note. So it's I'm with you. Like, I really appreciate the awareness these guys have, how much car control they show, and just the respect everybody has for each other. Man, so Torres is not showing any signs of slowing down. It looks like that gap's remained. I think we have... This is the final lap.
Well, if that's the case, Moda does not have much track left.
Let's see. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is it. Oh, he goes deep. That's going to let Moda get right up on him. But Porsche versus Porsche, I don't know if either one's going to be faster than the other. Yeah, so that was close. That was right down to the end. Here comes John. Solid fourth place performance from John. David, again, great job. He missed race 1, race 2, finishes on the podium. Doherty, after a disastrous last week with the game crashing, manages to secure 5th. That should make him happy, at least considering how last week went. Tillman, solid 6th place. Tillman had qualified 8th, so 2 positions up from where you started. That's great. Pedro managed to get back into 7th. It's no P2 Pedro, but hey, top 10, take that all day long. Ken and his new Audi, switching from the Lambo, finishes top 10 as well. And Taylor inside the top 10. And the last driver in 10 is Kumar, so great job to Kumar. Looks like Taylor is going to manage to hold him off. Yep, so Taylor finishes in front of Kumar, and Jesse, even with the stop and go, still manages 11th. Great job from Jesse. I didn't see how far back he had fallen due to that, but he definitely worked his way up. I think he was maybe back in like 17th or 16th at some point. Managed to work his way back up to 11th, so that's great. TL, quiet performance today. I don't think we got to focus too much on him, but a solid 12th place finish from TL, I think. Wasn't in too much of the mixes with the battles this week, but solid performance, 12th. Life, excellent job. He's looking like about to cross in 13th. And that's the end of our broadcast. But yeah, I'll put the finishing order up here on the screen. and some of the people did drop out. So Life ended up finishing 15th. So there was some of the people after they finished had disconnected. So here's the official finishing order, pre any penalty adjustments that might happen. So race 2 in the books, Jay.
Yeah,
It's
it
a
was
good,
a pretty good one.
yeah, it was sad to see the lap one that incident that got so many cars involved, but after that things seemed to settle down and it looked like a pretty clean race for the most part afterwards. I think there
Yeah,
were a few incidents we might have missed on the broadcast, um, but overall, much much cleaner race than what lap one was, so that was good.
yeah, that's always good to see.
All right, so that time of the race, did you have anyone that you wanted to highlight as your driver of the day?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh,
So
you
it's
already
his
got one
first.
figured out.
Oh yeah, it's his first race with us. Finished top 10. I'm gonna have to go with Kumar.
Nice. That's a great pick. Kumar did an
Yep.
excellent job. Uh, yeah, I'm trying to think of that of who else gave us a lot of action on the track this week. Um, I think for mine, I will go with Ken. Uh, and I'll tell you why. So Ken finished the race in 8th place. So he finished top 10. He had qualified 12th, so managed to finish 4 positions higher than he qualified. Um, had a good race. He was in there with a lot of the battles throughout the race, so he didn't have a whole lot of um, it wasn't like it came easy to him either. He had to battle and fight for what he got in this race. And also, I'm just impressed with the guy changing cars to the Lambo, going with the Audi this season, and still just being a real competitive driver. So I'll give
Yeah,
my driver
absolutely.
of the day to Ken.
That's a good pick. Good pick.
All right, well, that wraps up week 2. We will be back for week 3 again. I'm so oblivious and not been paying attention. Where is week 3 taking us, Jay? Do you know?
Exactly.
It-
I have I have no idea. I will have
All
to
right,
check.
all right. I've got CSRL up, so I can tell you what the next race is. So round 3, race 3 is going to be Mazzano. So that'll be a nice
Okay.
high speed track. We'll get to see some action there.
If I knew homework was going to be involved, I would never have agreed to this.
Just tell me the things you don't know, and I'll make sure just to ask those things only.
Uh, basically anything. Basically anything.
Sweet. All right. Well, we'll see everyone back next week. Thanks, and have a good one.